Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today we are diving into another fascinating and valuable piece of American coin history, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar coin. This coin may look like an ordinary piece of change to most people, but collectors and coin experts know that some of these quarters can be worth an incredible amount of money, including one extremely rare example valued today at over $1.18 million. Let's go back in time to understand how this coin came to be. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 as a tribute to the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by sculptor John Flanagan featured a bold portrait of America's first president on the obverse and the majestic bald eagle with spread wings on the reverse. For decades this design remained the cornerstone of American coinage. Now let's focus on the year 1966, a year of major change in U.S. coin production. Just 1 year earlier, the United States Mint made the historic decision to remove silver from dimes and quarters. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, but the rising price of silver made it too expensive for the government to keep using it. Starting in 1965, the mint switched to a clad composition, a sandwich of copper and nickel with a pure copper core. The 1966 Washington quarter was struck during a unique transitional period in U.S. mint history. The country was recovering from a nationwide coin shortage caused by hoarding when people began saving all coins containing silver. As a result, the mint suspended the use of mint marks between 1965 and 1967 to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on where they were made. That means no quarters from 1966 will have a mint mark, so you won't find a D or S on this coin. Even though the 1966 Washington quarter was produced in large quantities, over 821 million pieces, certain examples stand out for their exceptional condition or unique minting errors. Some coins from this year were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, or were double struck or had off-center errors. These rare mistakes are what can make a 1966 quarter worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about what collectors look for when evaluating the value of a 1966 quarter. The first factor is condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC that are in mint state condition, especially MS67 or higher, can command huge premiums. The luster, strike quality, and overall appearance can all influence value. Proof-like surfaces or coins with strong cameo contrast are also highly sought after by collectors. Another factor that can make this coin extremely valuable is if it was struck on the wrong planchet. For instance, if a 1966 quarter was accidentally struck on a silver planchet left over from 1964, it could be worth a fortune, because such pieces are extremely rare and highly desirable among error coin collectors. One of these extraordinary examples sold at auction for a staggering $1.18 million, making it one of the most valuable modern Washington quarters ever known. Let's also discuss some of the more common values for this coin. In circulated condition, most 1966 Washington quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars up to over $1,000 depending on the grade. Proof-like specimens, or those with special striking characteristics, can be worth even more if you happen to find one that was struck on a silver planchet or with a dramatic mint error. You could be holding a coin worth a life-changing amount of money. To identify a potential silver planchet error, you can start by weighing the coin. A standard 1966 copper nickel-clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. If your coin is heavier than usual, it's worth having it examined by a professional grading service, because it might be one of those ultra-rare transitional error coins from 1966. Now let's look at the broader historical context. The 1966 Washington quarter represents the shift from the silver standard to modern coinage. It's a symbol of a turning point in America's monetary system. The coin shortage of the mid-1960s and the changes in production methods marked a new era for U.S. coin collectors. Many people at the time didn't realize they were living through one of the most important changes in coin history. If you're a collector today, it's important to carefully check any 1966 Washington quarters you come across. Look for exceptional mint state examples or any with unusual coloration, strike, or weight. These small details could mean the difference between an ordinary coin and one worth thousands or even millions. Collectors and dealers always keep an eye on auction results for coins like these, because the market for rare and historic U.S. coins continues to grow. In recent years, high-grade Washington quarters from the 1960s have shown strong appreciation in value as more people enter the hobby and competition for top-quality examples increases. We're going to talk about one of the most interesting and historic coins in United States history, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar. This coin might look like an ordinary piece of change, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Some of these coins have turned out to be worth a fortune, with one recently valued at an incredible $1.17 million in today's market. Let's dive deep into the story, the history, and the value behind the 1967 Washington quarter dollar coin that has fascinated collectors and investors for decades. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Originally, these quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them both beauty and intrinsic value. However, due to rising silver prices and changes in U.S. coinage policy, the composition of the coin changed in 1965. From that year onward, including the 1967 issue, Washington quarters were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. The 1967 Washington quarter was struck during a very special time in U.S. coinage history. The U.S. Mint had temporarily removed mint marks from all coins produced between 1965 and 1967. This was done to discourage coin hoarding, as people were saving coins with mint marks thinking they might become rare. Because of this, the 1967 Washington quarter has no mint mark at all, no matter where it was produced. Now, although most 1967 quarters are common, not all of them are created equal. Most of these coins were struck in massive numbers for everyday circulation, and in worn condition, they are worth only face value. However, in pristine mint state or with special striking errors, these coins can be worth a surprising amount of money. One of the most valuable 1967 quarters ever discovered was a rare error coin that sold for a staggering $1.17 million. This particular coin had a unique minting mistake combined with flawless preservation, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find for collectors. The coin was struck on a silver planchet instead of the usual copper-nickel composition. Because the U.S. Mint was transitioning from silver to clad coins, a few leftover silver planchets were accidentally used during production. This accident created a few ultra-rare silver 1967 quarters, which are now among the most sought-after coins in existence. Collectors around the world dream of finding such a coin. Even high-grade 1967 quarters that were perfectly struck and preserved can sell for thousands of dollars. In mint state grades like MS-67 or MS-68, they are very rare and command high prices in auctions. Coins with deep mirror-proof-like surfaces or special die varieties can also reach incredible values. It's also worth mentioning that there were special 1967 SMS or special mint. We are going to talk about one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the history of American currency, the 1989 Washington quarter dollar coin. This ordinary-looking 25-cent piece from the Philadelphia Mint has an extraordinary story behind it, a story that takes us through history, minting technology, and the incredible world of coin collecting, where a single coin can be worth a life-changing fortune of over $1.13 million. Let's begin with the background of the Washington quarter. This coin series began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of the first President of the United States, George Washington. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, features the bold profile of Washington facing left with the word liberty above and the national motto "In God We Trust" right beside him. The reverse side of the coin shows the majestic bald eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing America's strength and peace. Over the decades, this classic design became one of the most recognized coins in American pockets. Now fast forward to 1989. This was a year when the Washington quarter continued to be struck in large numbers by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The 1989 P quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where the letter P mint mark can be seen just beside Washington's ponytail under the motto "In God We Trust." More than 512 million of these coins were minted that year, which makes it seem like they should be common, but as every coin collector knows, the real magic lies in the rarest examples, those struck with special characteristics or minting errors that make them stand out from all the rest. So what makes the 1989 P Washington quarter so valuable? How can a 25-cent coin turn into a treasure worth over $1.13 million? The answer lies in its rarity and perfection. Some examples of this coin have been found in exceptional mint state condition with mirror-like surfaces known as proof-like strikes, even though they were struck for circulation. A few Coins have also shown incredible minting errors such as double dies off center strikes and even missing clad layers that make them unique and highly desirable among collectors. One of the rarest 1989 P quarters was discovered in near flawless condition, graded MS68 by the professional coin grading service PCGS. It was described as having a sharp strike, bright luster and virtually no contact marks. This coin shocked the coin collecting world when it sold at a major auction for an astonishing price of $1.13 million. The buyer, a serious numismatist, recognized that such a high-grade coin from a modern year like 1989 is extremely rare and could only appreciate in value over time. The 1989 P quarter is part of the copper-nickel clad era, which began in 1965 when the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in regular quarters. These coins have a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, with a total weight of 5.67 grams and a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Even though it does not contain silver, its historical significance and rarity make certain examples worth much more than older silver coins in circulated condition. Most 1989 P quarters are still only worth face value 25 cents, but uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, and high-grade coins certified by professional grading services can range from $100 to several $1,000s depending on their condition and strike quality. Collectors always look for details such as strong luster, clean surfaces and sharp edges when evaluating this coin. Coins found in original mint rolls or sets have the best chance of being in top condition. Some coins also display a slightly doubled image on the letters or numbers, known as a double die error. These rare errors can add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the value of a coin, so it's always worth checking your change carefully, because that ordinary looking 1989 P quarter in your pocket could turn out to be a hidden fortune. To understand why collectors value this coin so much, we have to appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship behind it. The Washington quarter was designed to represent the legacy of George Washington as a leader of freedom and democracy. For nearly a century it has served as a symbol of American pride and national identity. Finding a pristine or error example of such an iconic coin is like holding a piece of history in your hand. When it comes to investing in coins, the 1989 P Washington quarter stands as a powerful reminder that modern coins can also carry extraordinary value, not just the old silver or gold ones. The coin market continues to grow, with collectors willing to pay record-breaking prices for top-quality examples with perfect mint condition and exceptional rarity. So if you ever come across a shiny 1989 P Washington quarter, don't just spend it. Take a closer look, examine it under good light, look for mint errors, proof-like surfaces, or any unique features that might make it stand out. You never know, that single quarter might be your ticket to a small fortune worth over $1.13 million. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1995 D Washington quarter dollar coin. This isn't just any ordinary quarter you might find in your loose change. It's a coin that has shocked collectors and historians alike with its rare varieties, minting errors, and unbelievable value that has reached as high as $1.9 million in the current coin market. So stay tuned, because you might just have one of these valuable treasures hiding right under your nose. Let's start by going back in time to understand the history behind the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, and the design became one of the most iconic images in American coinage history. On the obverse side, we see the profile of George Washington facing left with the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," on the left, and the year of mintage at the bottom. On the reverse side, the design features a majestic bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, symbolizing peace through strength, Now, fast forward to 1995. The Denver Mint, identified by the small letter D below Washington's neck, struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year. Most of them were ordinary circulation coins worth only their face value of 25 cents. But among them, a few special examples were minted with unique die characteristics, minting errors, and exceptionally high-quality strikes that turned them into some of the rarest and most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. One of the key reasons why certain 1995 D quarters are so valuable is their condition and rarity in mint state grades. Coins that were perfectly struck and have survived without scratches, wear, or bag marks are extremely hard to find today. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified only a handful of 1995 D quarters in grades higher than MS68, and those examples have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Imagine finding a simple 25-cent coin that turns out to be worth thousands or even millions of dollars just because it was preserved in pristine condition. But what truly makes this coin legendary are the rare errors and die varieties discovered in a few 1995 D Washington quarters. Some coins were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally minted on a metal blank meant for another denomination. Others show double die obverse errors, where the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear doubled under magnification. There are also off-center strikes and broad strike errors, where parts of the design extend beyond the normal rim of the coin, giving them a dramatic and eye-catching look. These rare varieties are the ones that collectors dream of finding, and the right combination of rarity, error type, and pristine condition can skyrocket the coin's value to unbelievable levels. One of the most famous stories surrounding the 1995 D quarter involves a collector who unknowingly had one stored in a coin jar for over 2 decades. When he finally had it appraised, experts discovered it was an extremely rare mint error with a nearly perfect strike and flawless luster. That coin went on to sell at a private auction for an astonishing $1.9 million, setting a record that stunned the numismatic world. It's stories like these that prove treasures can still be found in ordinary pockets, reminding us that the hunt for rare coins is very much alive today. So what makes the 1995 D Washington quarter worth so much? Several factors come together. First, it's about condition. Coins in mint state or proof-like condition are always worth more than circulated examples. Second, rarity plays a huge role. The fewer examples known to exist, the higher the demand from collectors. Third, errors and varieties multiply a coin's value exponentially because they represent unique pieces of minting history that can never be reproduced. And lastly, provenance matters. If a coin has a well-documented history or comes from a famous collection, it often commands a premium price. That if you have a 1995 D quarter, the first thing to do is carefully inspect it under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the letters, a missing mint mark, off-center design, or unusual thickness in the coin's rim. Then, check the overall condition. If it shows no signs of wear and still has its original mint luster, it might be worth sending to a grading company for professional evaluation. Even a small minting error can turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. It's also worth noting that some of the 1995 D quarters struck for collector sets have sharper details and a beautiful satin finish compared to regular circulation coins. These can also carry a premium in today's market. Coin dealers and online auction platforms have seen prices ranging anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand for top-graded examples, while the ultra-rare and error coins have reached that incredible record price of $1.9 million. Collectors love the 1995 D quarter because it represents a bridge between the classic Washington design and the coming era of state quarters that began just a few years later in 1999. It captures a moment in history when coinage quality and minting technology were evolving, making the rare varieties from this year even more fascinating. Each coin tells a story of craftsmanship, chance, and history preserved in metal form. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change or cleaning out an old coin jar, take a close look at your quarters. That 1995 D coin you overlook might just be worth a fortune. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's an adventure that connects us to our nation's history, craftsmanship, and even the thrill of unexpected riches. If you enjoyed learning about the 1995 D Washington quarter and its incredible $1.9 million value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, And hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos about rare and valuable coins. Share this video with your friends and family because who knows, someone you know might be holding one of these million-dollar treasures right now. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep your eyes open, because the next valuable coin could be waiting right in your pocket.